A pleasure to be here with Dr. Rudrangshu Mukherjee. Welcome, sir, to the Kolkata Literature Festival and congratulations on your new book, A New History of India. So, if I may ask as the opening question, what was the catalyst or what was the motivation behind writing a sweeping history of India?
The catalyst was our friend David Davidar, who planted this idea in our heads, and he thought that we were best placed to produce a book of this kind that he had in mind. In that sense, the book is rather special. Not only is it novel, it's special because I don't think a book like this has been written uh, for Indian history.
What were the challenges and what were the obstacles? Because you're looking at something that is quite literally unprecedented. So, as the process of research, as the process of writing, what were the main challenges you came across?
No, the challenge, if you look at the book, you will find that the book has two interrelated but parallel texts running. One is the narrative, and the other is very detailed annotations of the many illustrations that are there in the book. They're not just saying, this is Humayun's tomb, nothing like that. They actually tell you about the architecture of Humayun's tomb, not only the dates, the architecture, the uniqueness of it, what went into the making of the monument, or whatever the picture is about. And there's a reference to the picture in the text as well, so that way they are related. And so to fuse two different kinds of medium, if you like, the printed word as well as the photographic images or maps, to make them into one integral text. That was the challenge. And of course, then finding the appropriate picture was the second challenge.
You cover a huge time span of hundreds and thousands of years in your book. Was there any particular period or even any particular era, if you really narrow down to, that you found the most interesting in terms of research, or perhaps that surprised you while you were actually in the process of writing the book?
Yeah, in the sense that I am not uh, a historian of ancient India. So I had to do a fair amount of reading on ancient India, which was very enriching. And I discovered a lot of things that I did not know, but I should know. So,
What do you make, or what is your general assessment of writing history in India? We have a lot of people who are not historians, technically trained, who are going ahead and venturing into the process of writing history. So, what is the general assessment of history in India being written today?
well, while, as you say, there are people who are not trained as historians or writing histories of India, the we must also bear in mind that uh, there are historians, trained historians, who are not writing for a general public. They are writing for a small niche of historians. They are speaking to themselves. Now, I very firmly believe that history is not just an academic discipline. Of course, it's an academic discipline, and when I teach and when I write different kinds of book, I teach and write history as an academic discipline. But I also believe that history is also a public discipline, because there are large numbers of educated, literate people who want to know about history, are seriously interested to know about the past. So one must make history accessible to them, and therefore write in a style, communicate to them in a manner that is easily comprehensible.
How important do you think a book like this is in a climate where we stay nowadays, where there is so much of contestation over what we assume were basic historic facts? So, what would you say is the importance of the book in light of today's context?
No, precisely that. I mean, I actually happen to believe that history is a contested territory. So, if it's a contested territory, you must be a participant in the contest. So, it's out there. Uh, the analysis and the views of Rudrangshu Mukherjee et al., and let it be debated.
What are your hopes from this book? What would you want a reader to take away, or what would you want the general ecosystem of knowledge to take away from this particular book?
I would like more intelligent, educated people to become seriously interested in history and not just gulp down whatever they're reading on the internet and from Google.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a great time at KLF.